Hey, welcome to the Podcast Domination Show, where we help you launch, grow, monetize, and dominate the podcasting space. This is a show where we believe that if you can get attention with your podcast, you can influence someone. And if you can influence someone, you can get them to take massive action. And if you can get someone to do that, you, my friend, can dominate. I'm Diaz, your host and founder of Podcast Domination, and I'm your guide. Let's go. I've got something really interesting that you might find funny. Since you're listening to this, you're probably a podcaster or someone who's looking to start a show and wants to get some information about this. So you've probably done a good job of already finding podcasts and understanding what they are, what they're about, and how freaking amazing they are. However, my friend, you are one of the few people who understand that. And you might be surprised to learn that some people think podcasts are a paid product. They are a product. It is a product, in my opinion. But some people think you have to pay for these things, and they don't know that it's actually free and it's already on their phone. And my tip for you today, my little value, my early value of the show that I like to give, I'm starting to give, is that when you are marketing your podcast, you need to make sure you mention it is free. And I was speaking to someone who has a rather big following the other day, and their show was not growing, and their audience is a bit older. And this was something I forgot to mention to them actually when we were speaking. So I want to make sure I mention it here. I'm probably going to text that person pretty soon and let them know, hey, this is another thing you can do to grow your show. But let your audience know it's free. Don't forget, free is a power word. Free is a very powerful word. And a lot of people don't know it's free. So there you go. It's free. Make sure you let them know. Put in your Instagram posts and whatnot. Anyways, today we are going to jump in to a completely different topic. I just wanted to share that with you because that would be really valuable. And that is the 5 reasons not to start a podcast. So these are 5 things. These are 5 reasons like you shouldn't start a podcast. So maybe if you're on the fence, maybe this will knock you off. This might knock you off the wrong way, but hey, I think I'm doing you a service by making sure you don't make the wrong decision. So this is some coaching for me to you to help you make that decision. So these are 5 things that are definitely no's if you think these things. So, or maybe just helpful mindset shifts that I can help you make here. So let's jump right into it. Let's just get right into it. These are going to be short. I want to keep this quick. Number one is you should not start a podcast if you have unrealistic expectations about the money and the time it takes to build an audience and monetize it. Unless you are already supported by a big sponsor and you've got a huge list and you've got a decent sized social media following and you've got products lined up, I think it's really important to realize that this is going to take 1 to 2, maybe even longer, years. So I have people come to me sometimes that want to start a show. Maybe they're very famous, but they don't really have anything to sell. And they just want to profit off sponsorships. And I don't it can work. Don't work. Trust me, it can work. But I don't think it's going to happen as fast as some people would like it to happen. So if you are thinking this is going to be a 3-month project where you just get in, you just talk on a mic with some cool friends of yours, and people are going to pay you a bunch of money, I'm sorry, it's probably not going to be the case unless you're like Barack Obama. And, could it happen? I could be completely wrong, but what I see more times than not is people coming in with unrealistic expectations about the money they can make in a short amount of time. This is a long game. I plan to be podcasting in 2025. Okay? And I'm looking to I want to have fun with it. Like I want to have more than one podcast in 2025, but I'm looking into the future and don't plan on quitting indefinitely anytime soon. So that's number 1. Get your mind right around the money and the time it's going to take to make that money. If this is going to be a main profit driver for you, even though I highly doubt it will be. It's lead gen. It's a lead nurturing system, in my opinion. Anyway, that's for another day. Number two. If you expect the entire podcast to be a giant commercial about your product or service or you, I would not do it because no one's going to like it. No one's going to listen to it. This is a long form, intimate medium. It's intimate. It's a conversation. It can be scripted, but it just does not need to be a commercial or a sales pitch all the time. There's a time and place for a sales pitch, but it doesn't need to be 45 minutes long. So don't think it's a giant commercial platform. Like I'll have some pitches in here, I'm sure, for my products or my services, but the end goal is to provide you value and build a relationship with you who's listening to this in your car or at the gym or while you're walking your dog. So I have no intention of selling you right now. Actually, this episode is to discern you or to maybe persuade you away from podcasting so you don't have a bad experience with it. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I'm trying to do you a service. So that's that. If you expect it to be a commercial or you're planning on using it as a giant sales pitch, I would say it's probably not for you. Build a relationship, then maybe try and talk about your product or service once you've got the trust. Number three is a big one because I see it so many times, and I think podcasters are somewhat notorious for this, and that is not being able or willing to spend the money on the important things that are going to help grow your show and make it a professional show. That is things like post-production. That is things like promotion and investing in the tools and the people and the resources to grow your show. That is also the equipment, and that is also the design work. So if you're not willing to spend money on that, then I don't think this is for you. And especially if you're coming in it as a business, I think you do need to have a dedicated team to take care of the show notes, to take care of the editing, and not to say you shouldn't have to learn that stuff, because I think you should learn some of it, but you shouldn't think you're going to, just do this on your spare time and expect it to come out as good a quality as you may want it to come out. I think you definitely need to delegate, hire a team, and I think you need to really consider and take a look at the money you're going to be willing to spend on post-production, on promotion especially. I'm a big fan of promoting the heck out of something and creating really good content as opposed to creating a lot of mediocre content. Doesn't mean you can't create short-form content, but I still feel like you need to invest the money and the time to promote it and to repurpose it, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're not willing to spend the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 it takes to get the right guests, get the equipment, get the design right, get the website right, all that jazz, this might not be for you, or it's not going to really come out the way you want it to come out. So that's that. Number 4, if you're not excited about podcasting in the long term, if you just see this as a 6-month project, that is cool, but I wouldn't expect you to have amazing results. Now, let me caveat that, because I've seen people do book launches and they have a short form podcast, and that's totally cool. If you plan on having a 10 episode podcast run and kicking it, that's cool. You can do that. I would only recommend that for something like a book launch, or maybe you have an event and you just spin up the podcast 6 months out of the year just to promote the event and help sponsors get their name out there. That's cool. But I don't think you should come in thinking this is going to be 6 months and we're going to hit a home run and we're going to leave and it's all going to be hunky-dory. Get excited about podcasting for the long term. Realize it's a long-term thing. And I really don't like to work with anyone who's not excited about podcasting in 2020 or and beyond. Really, I want long-term partnerships. So that's that. And then the last one here is not having a clear goal. So if you don't have a clear goal yet as to what your podcast is going to do for your marketing, for your company, for you as your brand, I think it's really important to put it on hold for now, pause it, really have a clear, measurable keyword there, measurable, a measurable goal for podcasting, whether that's download numbers, whether that's email subscribers, whether that's sales, whether that is number of thank you emails, whether that is, you can't really see subscribers in most platforms. I think you can in Castbox, but, I would say maybe per episode download numbers could be another one too. Maybe listener, what were we talking about the other day? Consumption rate could be another one. So have a clear KPI, have a measuring stick, and have a clear goal before you step into this, or else it's going to be really sticky and it's going to be really hard to figure out 6 to 12 months down the road. Hey, are we getting to where we want to go? I got a lot of people here who say, I want to build my brand. I want to build my awareness. Okay, great. Then you need to be getting on other shows too, and you need to make sure you measure email subscribers that are opting into your list through either your podcast and have a specific, unique lead magnet for them, or through your guesting efforts, which I think need to go hand in hand. So that's it for today. 5 reasons why you should not start a podcast. Make sure you run through those, get your mind right, and be excited about podcasting in 2025 like me. Or maybe not that long, but hey, that's just me. Anyways, the links, resources, and everything else will be at podcastdomination.co. And I will see you next week here. Make sure you're on time so we start on time. Just kidding. Have a good day. I will catch you later. Peace. Hey, what's up? It's Lewis again. Really hope you took something of value away from today's show. And don't forget, there's only one thing I want you to do if you need help, if you want to chat about this, if there's any way I can serve you, that is to text or maybe even give me a call at 561-405-7838. That is a Google Voice number that goes directly to my phone, so I will be on demand for you, and we can chat about how we can help you grow, launch, or monetize your podcast. Thanks. I'll catch you next week.